everyone, I'm Julie.
And I'm Genny with a G. We're cousins and best friends.
Who live on opposite ends of the country, so we decided to start a podcast. Welcome to Get Funny.
I was thinking about our high school hair days the other day. We were talking about it. They're like, how'd you do your hair in high school? I was like, I do remember it curly, but it wasn't like what I do now. It was not steps. It was not layers. It was not good product. It was gel. And a lot of times it was slicked back, super jelly, and then curls in the back and looked really wet. And if it didn't look wet, I didn't like it. I was like, oh no, this is trash.
If I ever wore my hair natural in school, it had to be wet. Like it had to look wet. Like I didn't know. I mean, obviously, y'all who have come of age in the past 20 years, be grateful, because back in the day, we had to buy curly products online, all of it from a special website or a special store. And now,
or you would go to the beauty supply,
or the beauty supply,
get the big gel. LA Looks.
Okay, not too much on LA Looks, because that is still to this day my holy grail of gels. And I have gels from like bougie fancy lines, $30 gels, whatever. And if I want to a gelée. Oh my God. If it's called gelée, I know it's not going to work on my hair. Like it won't. I cannot. There will be no hold.
I bought a gelée a couple of years ago, and I was like, I'm not liking one. So I did the switch from gel to mousse a long time
ago. A mousse girly. You are a mousse
I'm
girly.
moussey. And so when I got the gelée, they were like, oh, it holds like a mousse. Girl, that thing stayed in the closet until one day it fell on the floor and cracked. And I was like, now I got gelée everywhere. To try to clean up gelée, it's a lot of work. Okay.
Gelée only works if you put gel on top of it. And then that defeats the purpose of the gelée. That's too fancy for me. But if there's a day where I need my hair to be on point and I know I can't be taking risks and stuff and like trying new things, I use LA Looks in the blue bottle, Sport. And that I know for sure my hair will be fine. Sport. It got to be Sport. But my hair looked. My friend Cameron, shout out to Cameron who listens to this podcast, one of our 3 listeners. Thank you. He sent me some pictures from high school the other day, and my hair, y'all, was. Girl, what was that?
Oh, you heard that,
ma'am?
I am making a lunch.
I was like, does she have an easy bake oven going on? What's happening?
It is a little toaster oven. And boy, she is going into work. Okay, she made me some chicken cutlet.
So, was your plan to eat while we were recording, or what was the plan?
So the plan was, I thought it would take longer, and I just, and then I was like, it's cool. It'll stay there. I am going on a tangent, but I do want to just say this.
Our whole life is a tangent, Jenny.
It is. But I got a candle from Bath and Body Works.
I'm listening.
It is called Strawberry Pound Cake. It is by far the best smelling candle I've had in this house. First of all, because it's not heavily vanilla. And I'm getting sick and tired of vanilla being the top note in all these candles. When I was promised an almond croissant, I want something else than that heavy vanilla. Also, a couple of months ago, I did turn on like 2 candles while I was cleaning. And I may have given me a little toxic headache. So
I was like, did you die? What happened?
I had to take a little lie down, but I made it.
Back in the day, meaning when my mom taught me how to clean things, I feel like, and even now to this day, she wasn't really aware or caring about the fact that you shouldn't mix certain cleaning products. Like, you just put everything in there, let it season, let it marinate. That's how you know it's working.
Some of it is true to a certain extent.
Yeah, but nowadays, because I don't have a window in my bathroom. I feel like most bathrooms don't have windows.
Most bathrooms do.
And there have been a few times where I'll like be putting the cleaning products and then I feel it in my throat. I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
One thing I would say, I'm not a scientist, y'all.
Okay.
But it's important to know that we're talking about cleaning. There was one day somebody in a group chat said, what do you do when you mix Clorox and vinegar? And my immediate response was leave that space immediately. So y'all, I don't mix what you want, but do not mix bleach
No,
and
actually,
vinegar. It is
don't
actually
mix
toxic.
don't mix what you want. Do not mix bleach with anything. Let's start
Don't
there.
mix it with anything.
Don't do it, y'all. I
I
want to
have
go back to
to.
something you said about your candle.
Oh yes,
So you said you had two candles the day you were cleaning and maybe gave yourself poisoning.
a little
The
bit.
way you said it made me laugh because it's how I say things that Richard is like. So you said I turned on two candles.
Is that
And
not what we're
I
saying?
sometimes when we have a candle lit, I'll be like, "Hey, can you turn off the candle?" And he's like, "Do you mean blow it out?" I'm like, "Yes, you know what I mean." And he's like, "I just never heard anyone say it like that." And I feel like it must be something, you know how some things are like translated from Spanish but we
It's
use them in
100%.
English? Yeah, like when my mom would say like in English she'll say like what are they giving on TV or
Yes, what are they?
something?
I was about to just say, like, what are they giving on TV?
What are they giving? And there's certain things that like I just grew up hearing, and then it's not until Richard, a non like Spanish speaker in the home, calls me out on it. I'm like, I guess that's not right, huh? But I always
Yeah.
say, turn off the candle. The other day, I was like, he was leaving for work. I was like, did you light the candle in the bathroom? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, before you leave, can you? And I couldn't think of any words. I was just like, can you unlight the candle?
No, I didn't know that that was a thing that we did, or that
Mm-hmm.
people didn't say giving until I moved to Georgia. What are they giving
Like,
on
what do you
TV?
mean it's giving? See,
They're
we were
like,
saying it's giving back before it was popular.
yes, we've always, they're like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I was like, my thing is, don't do that to me when you're trying to spell a word with an R and call it Ara. Don't do that. If I have to know
Wow.
what you mean, then you need to know what I mean. That's rude. So yeah, it was a big thing. I was like, so what would you say if it's not giving you something to watch? What are you? They're like, what's on TV? I'm like, that sounds boring.
That's stupid. What's on? I mean, I guess that's what I say now. I guess I don't ask that question anymore because everything's streaming.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But
I guess I do
it's
say, "What are you watching?" But
what
I
are
used
you
to say,
watching?
"What
It's
are they
giving.
giving?"
Yeah. What are they giving on
What are
MTV?
they
Like
giving?
because our content overlords were giving us content and we
Yes,
were receiving it.
I
Uh,
received it in a
I
great way,
received it
and
too.
turning on and turning off a candle, like I just don't see how that's incorrect. Because here's another thing,
Okay.
another one to our dear listener Richard.
Oh,
There are many actual flameless candles, and guess what you have to do?
you
Turn it
turn them
on
on.
and
Yes,
turn
but
them
that's where
off.
he was confused because in his mind, he's like, well, we would only say that if it was a flameless one, and we are using actual flamed candles. So why would you say that? I'm like, but you understand what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Turn it off. It's the
Turn
same
it
way.
off.
Sometimes I also have a thing where this is not, I don't think this is a Spanish thing. I think this is just my brain thing. Sometimes I'll call, like, if I'm outside, I'll call the ground the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the floor of the earth, y'all. You know what I mean. My
Right.
God.
Now, sometimes I do fight. Now, sometimes I go above and beyond and say something stupid. And I don't even forgive myself anymore because it's just who I am. But like the other day, someone asked me, "Where's your stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, it's in the house." But we were not outside, nor were
What?
we at someone else's house. I just, I just said it's in the house. And I meant
What
like
were
my
you
hotel
referring
room.
to?
Like my hotel.
Oh.
I was like, they're like, "Where's yours?" I was like, "It's in the house." They're like,
Yeah, no,
"What
I mean, that
house?" I was like,
checks out.
"Man."
That checks out.
I just
I
be
think that's
saying stuff.
I think it's
So,
fine to call wherever you're staying at that time. I think it's fine to call that place home.
oh my God, have you seen, right, right. Have you seen that thing too on, on TikTok where it says, "What's one word you mispronounced?" And you think about it still.
I haven't seen it on TikTok, but I did see some people talking about it on Twitter
Yeah.
today.
I mean, I feel like you don't mispronounce things as much as I mispronounce.
Well, I mean,
But the word, and I'm going to say it for everybody to know, my
mhm,
deepest, darkest embarrassment. So I was invited to a wedding.
mhm.
And at the wedding, we were also invited to the rehearsal dinner. And I was at the hotel. my home, you would say, with other guests of the wedding. And they're like, where are we going? And I had pulled up the invitation and I said, oh, we're going to a place called Vineyards.
That's
Wow.
okay. I
mean, and then I was like, wow, I've never heard of a vineyard.
Wait, but at that time, this would be really funny. At that time, did you already know that the word vineyard existed? You just
yes. My brain could not. I guess it was the font. I don't understand, but I was like, vineyards. Well, I guess we're in for a treat. And here's
That's amazing.
Thing, though, the worst part about this whole experience is that the two people that were in that hotel room with me did not correct me.
Oh, well, that's nice. I think it's, I don't know.
I don't know. Is it nice or were we all high or something? Because I was like, what's wrong with us? I also don't get high, so then that's also...
I was like, weird suggestion, but maybe you had some cleaning products. I think that, yeah, I'm not sure if you should be corrected or not. I don't know. I feel like that one is not that egregious. Like sometimes you're like, okay, well, this is in no way, shape, or form could this be the way this is pronounced. But you said I don't mispronounce things. Girl, I was a huge reader as a child, a nerd. And so there was a lot of words that I only knew from books because no one said them. And so when I like actually learned how to say them, I was like, oh, and I remember two of them specifically. The word epitome. That's epitome to me, okay? That is epitome. And the word, I don't know if I ever said it, but I definitely like, when I would read it, I would just call it epitome in my head. And then I heard someone say it and I was like, huh, interesting. And then the other word that I remember as a kid reading a lot and I didn't know how to say it. And it's because I was trying to read it incorrectly. It's the word biodegradable.
So, interesting.
Yes, because right now when I look at it, I'm like, yes, it's clearly biodegradable. But when I was, in third grade, I was like, biodegradable.
Oh.
Biodegradable.
Biodegradable.
Sometimes when I see the word fatigue, I still in my head say fatigue. To the point where that's what Richard and I say, like, it doesn't help that we now just mispronounce things on purpose. We're like, I'm so fatigued today.
Fatigued. Yeah.
We have fun.
It is a challenge to read a word aloud that you've never seen before. What's one that we always do that everybody... It's a word that almost everybody talks about. Like it means, I can tell you the definition. It means to like become something, become reality. And people always say it.
It means to become reality?
Yeah, like it's like almost like a wish that you hope that it becomes something.
Manifest?
Not manifest. Forget it.
Okay. Well, then
it doesn't matter. It's a word that everybody... Fruition. And people always say it differently.
I've never heard anyone say it differently than fruition.
Oh, yeah, I've heard it differently.
You've heard them.
I've heard them. I have it. There's proof. There's proof. There has been proof. I've seen them. We have to go into Seat on Screen.
We ended our last episode with the hope that maybe next time we would watch a rom-com, because last week was not a rom-com. Or last episode was not even remotely a rom-com. And so this week we did the quintessential rom-com, the rom-com to end all rom-coms, y'all. The platonic ideal of a rom-com. When Harry Met Sally. We finally did it, y'all. It's been almost 3 years of doing this podcast?
Yeah.
My God.
Just about. What? Our 3-year anniversary's on the way.
It's coming up. When we first started this podcast, we were nervous because it was about to be the election.
Yeah.
The 2020 election. We started this podcast before the insurrection.
Yes, we did. I mean,
Anyway.
technically, we started in 2019.
Well, yeah. That doesn't.
That first episode was not so gloom and doom.
That's part of the lore. That's the lore of our podcast. Whatever. Anyway, we did When Harry Met Sally. Finally, it is, or it was, I think it still is, number 1 on Rolling Stone's 50 greatest rom-coms list or whatever.
Let me see.
And we did it. We did
do it. It is the rom-com, I would say, to start all rom-coms.
Oh.
Get it? Not
to I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I see. Okay, we're saying the same thing.
Yes. So yes, oh God, why is the list backward?
Because that's how a countdown works.
Why is it a countdown? Yes, it is.
It's counting down to number 1.
Why would we count it down?
Okay.
Anyways, yes, it's still number 1, and The Attraction Theory. Bookstore Encounter. I've never even read this.
What are you talking about?
What it describes in the Rolling Stone article.
Okay. Yeah.
The Attraction Theory, the Bookstore Encounter, the New Year's Eve Admission of Love, the vignettes of older couples recounting their relationship stories.
Yes, these are all things we love about When Harry Met Sally. The Attraction Theory is the basis of the movie, which is that Harry, played by Billy Crystal, tells Sally, played by Meg Ryan, the first day they meet, he tells her that men and women cannot be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or more specifically, men cannot be friends with women they're attracted to. Or that they want to have sex with. I don't remember.
Yes.
And that's a pretty bold statement.
It is bold.
It is bold. I personally do not... Okay, I don't agree that men and women can't be friends. I think when he specifies that he means men who are attracted to, I think it's hard to be friends with people that you actually want to have sex with. But I don't think that you are going to want to have sex with every person who is of the gender that you're attracted to. That's right. Weird. But y'all, this movie is a bajillion years old.
For real. It came out in
1989.
Yes. We were just mere babies.
Just babies. We were so young.
The first time I saw this movie, I think I was like 15 or 18 or something. It was a long time ago.
That was like so long ago. You were 18? Well, I think I had like put off watching this movie for a long time because I'd heard so much about it, but it wasn't because it is a little bit older. Like, I feel like when we were sort of young or like in middle school or whatever, when I was watching more rom-coms, I was more likely to watch You've Got Mail or something like that, as opposed to When Harry Met Sally, because that, to me, that felt like an old movie back then, and it was. Right. It was an old movie.
Absolutely. It was an old movie. But I wanted to watch it because I did know that they were commenting it on almost everything. So I was like, well, I want to know what it's about. Usually that's why I end up watching something. Why I watch Friends, because they were talking about it on late night TV shows. Why I watch this. And, Kramer is also one I watch because I heard it referenced so many times.
Kramer versus Kramer, yeah.
I've
actually never seen Kramer versus Kramer.
Girl, it's a really good movie, actually.
It sounds sad, and I don't like
it. It is sad.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But it was good. So, okay. Do you want to do the...
Well, I mean, it's so iconic. It's so old. I feel like we don't have a breakdown. I mean, I guess the way the movie is set up, so it starts in Chicago at the University of Chicago. Jenny's alma mater, one of her alma maters. One of them.
And I remember, this is such a silly girl, but I definitely took a picture in that area where they're at the
for sure
of the quad.
Yeah, so the movie starts in 1977 in Chicago, and I was about to say Sari and Hallie. Nope. Try it again. Sally and Harry meet because Sally is friends with Harry's girlfriend, and Harry hitches a ride with her to New York City, where Sally is moving for journalism school and Harry is moving for a job. And so they have 18 hours in the car to get to know each other. And turns out Sally does not like him because she thinks he's trying to make a pass at her because he tells her that she's really attractive. I don't know how old these people actually were when this movie was made, but there was no part of me that believed that they were 21 years old at that time. And then they part ways when they get to New York, and then 5 years later, they're at the airport. Sally, who is now 26 and looks like she's 45, is making out with this man Joe. And this was back when you could like walk someone to their gate. Pre 9/11, never forget.
Which is so interesting. There has been so many people who are like, what do you mean you used to do that? I'm like, oh, young people.
Yeah, young people. But yes, so they're like having this long drawn out like kissing session, and Harry spots them and notices Joe, and I guess they used to be neighbors or something, and so they chat, and Harry doesn't acknowledge Sally, which I think is rude, because even if you didn't recognize her, why would you? Joe should have been like, hey, this is Sally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was just very weird. And then so Harry walks away, and Sally's like, oh, thank God he didn't recognize me. And this is where I was like, how? It's been 5 years since you guys saw each other. How did you? There's no way that he already forgot you. And there's no way that you forgot the name of the person who set you guys up to drive to New York. 5 years is not that long. Maybe I'm crazy.
Hold on.
Okay, all right.
To give them a little grace, 5 years back in the day is very different from 5 years now, because we are so connected to people.
You're right.
It is almost impossible to forget people. But if you do one experience one time 5 years ago, honestly, I can forget.
You're right. No, you're right. I guess in my head I was like 5 years, and they drove halfway across the country together, but you're right. It's not like they had Facebook to stay like, oh, well, there's Harry, there's blah, 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 or whatever.
And then sometimes, like for me, I do have a very big memory of going to Florida with these people that I was friends with.
What?
Couldn't tell you their names.
I was like, what is she talking about?
Exactly. And you know I'm really good at remembering things. Oh, I cannot remember.
Yeah, how do you not remember that? That's weird.
I do remember. I don't remember their names. I remember everything about it. We were going to a wedding, but they were sisters. It'll come to me when it's supposed to. So anyways, I give her grace for that, because it's a different kind of 5 years. And then they never interacted afterwards, right? Because like with us too, even if you do have Facebook, sometimes you see somebody again. But if you saw them one time, 77, in the 80s, there was a lot of drugs. So
that's true. They were probably on drugs. But right after this, they end up being on the same flight, and Harry switches seats with someone so he could sit next to her, and they reconnect. We learn that Harry is engaged to a woman named Helen, and Sally has just started dating Joe. They've been together for, did she say 4 weeks? 3 weeks? I don't remember. But according to Harry, he knew that it was early on because he took her to the airport. He was like,
that's what he said.
Can't take anyone to the airport, because then if it goes on long enough and, you stop taking them to the airport because you're not trying to impress them anymore, then they'll be like, hey, how come you never take me to the airport? It's a whole thing. I was like, you know what? I can see that. I feel that, Harry.
Right.
And Sally is surprised that Harry's engaged, because she's like, I didn't think that you were that optimistic of a person, blah, blah, blah.
I actually don't like Harry at all.
Okay. So what I was going to say was, for the most of this movie, Harry sucks.
Yeah.
Well, okay. For the first like several vignettes of them like talking or like meeting each other over the years, Harry is constantly gaslighting her by trying to be like, I didn't say that. I never said that. And she's like, well, yeah, you specifically said this. And he's like, I wouldn't say that. But if I did say that, this is what I would be. And I'm like, oh, shut up. You're like the worst guy.
He's the worst. And then the other part. Okay, keep going. Because the part that I hate is coming, and then I'll say.
Okay. Well, so they end this encounter by like being upset again. I don't remember why she's mad at him at the end when they're on the moving walkway or whatever. They basically agree that they're not going to be friends. It's not like they exchange numbers or anything. They're just like, okay, cool. It was great to see you for an hour. And so then we catch up with them 5 years after that. Right? Yeah.
Right.
5 years
It
after
was
that.
another 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's to the point where it's now been 10 years since they first met. And now we learn that Helen has left Harry for another man. He's getting a divorce. He's very upset about it. He's very sad. And Sally has broken things off with Joe because she realized that she didn't, they weren't getting married. They weren't having kids. I don't remember why it
Yeah. I
was.
think, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So they end up reconnecting. They're at a bookstore. Sally is with her best friend, played by Carrie Fisher, R.I.P. She plays Marie in this, and Sally's talking about her breakup, and Harry is there, and he's like spotting her, and Marie goes, "There's someone staring at you in personal growth," and I always thought that was funny. And then they reconnect, and then they both learn that they both just, had ended these 5-year relationships, blah, blah, blah. And then this starts them actually becoming friends as they sort of talk each other through their breakups. Harry is taking his divorce much worse than Sally is taking her breakup, it seems. And they're just being friends. They are connecting as friends in a way that Harry didn't think was possible when they met 10 years ago. Yeah. And I love these parts. Like, I love them, like, watching Casablanca together and falling asleep or being on the phone together and sort of having these conversations. I think that's
so
fun.
This is the part where I'm like, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So in this, there's a part where he's talking to his friend. And I think that's the guy who ends up with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, his name is Jess in this.
Jess, and he's talking to Jess, and Jess is like, "So what do you guys? What is this? What is it that you guys have?" And he's like, he can't put a name on it, but it's like an intimate friendship. That's pretty much like, if you look it up, that's the name they kind of put on it now. But it's like so intimate that the lines are crossed, because there is a sense of, I can't go on without my day without talking to her. And now I'm sleeping on the phone. And then they're doing this cute little bit at one point where they're making noises or an accent or whatever.
They're doing an accent.
Yeah, and she's repeating everything he's saying. So then he's like, "Do you want to go to the movies with me on Monday?" She's like, "Do you want to go to the movies with me on Monday?" He's like, "No, I'm asking you, like, I want an answer." And she's like, "Oh, I can't." And this is why I have an issue with that 500 Days of Summer thing. Because it's like, you guys say you want to be friends, but then you do romantic shit, and then people get upset, and it's not fair. And this is exactly why we have so many people who are like, "Oh yeah, I go on vacation with this person, I take them places, but we're just friends." And we've been doing this for 5 years.
Oh. Okay, well, that seems personal. But do you think that, so when Harry asks her to the movies with that accent, do you think that he's being romantic? Like, do you think he's asking her out?
Yeah. And then that's why he kind of, I also, even in his face, he got taken aback when she said no. Because he's like, "What, do you have a hot date or something?" And she goes, yeah, I actually do. He's like, "Oh. Okay." So I'm just like, even your theory, bro, like, you're over here saying you can't be friends with somebody because the lines are crossed. Because I do wholeheartedly believe that people can be friends. But I do think that when there's a certain threshold that happens, that it goes into not being friends anymore, and it goes into romantic feelings.
Yeah, I think the part here is that they're both out of these long relationships, and they each have best friends of their own, but they're using each other because they're both kind of going through the same thing. But through the course of them, like, becoming friends and processing their breakups, they end up substituting the other person for their romantic partner who has dumped them or who they've split up with or whatever. So I think that's where things get a little convoluted and crossed and confusing for them. So yeah, there's a period of time where they're both trying to date other people. They go on some bad dates, which is funny, but Billy Crystal, Harry is going on bad dates, but he is still sleeping with people. And right. Sally's like, why would I have sex with someone I don't like? And Harry's like, I don't understand. Truly don't understand the concept. He's a little bit of a fuckboy. He's in his fuckboy era. And then they try to set their friends. No, they try to set each other up with their friends. So Harry tries to set Jess up with Sally, and Sally tries to set Marie up with Harry. So they do a double date, and immediately it's clear that Jess and Marie are actually better suited with each other, leaving Harry and Sally alone again. And what happens? Things happen. I don't know. This is like the whole movie.
It really is.
They
do hook up eventually.
Right. So eventually, Sally finds out that Joe is getting married, and this is the thing that causes her to finally have like actual real emotions about her breakup. So she calls Harry over. He comes to like console her, blah blah blah, and then in that vulnerable state, they end up kissing and sleeping together. And they wake up, and Sally's all like, please, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like happy. And Harry is freaking the fuck out. So he bolts, and now everything's weird between them. Their friendship is ruined. Sally's pissed because she doesn't understand why Harry is being like this. Harry is nervous about like changing things in their friendship, this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. It culminates with New Year's Eve, where Sally is there by herself. Marie and Jess are like, please stay. And she's like, I can't. Like, I don't want to be alone at midnight and not have anyone to kiss. Meanwhile, Harry is at home watching Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. And he's sort of like thinking about his relationship with Sally, blah, blah, blah. And realizing that like,
of New York.
Yeah. And then eventually realizing that like, she's the love of his life and he needs to get to her. So he's running and he makes it there and he tells her like, I love you. And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do with that? You're just saying it now. Like she doesn't believe him. And then that's when he does his whole spiel about like, I love how you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love how it takes you 15 minutes to order a sandwich. I love blah, blah, blah. And he tells her all these things that he's noticed about her, things that maybe other people might get annoyed by, like the fact that she takes 15 minutes to order a sandwich. And he's like, the reason I'm telling you now is not because it's convenient or whatever, not because I'm scared, but because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want the rest of your life to start immediately. Something like that. Great lines. Great script by the legendary Nora Ephron, by the way. And so they kiss, they live happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of the movie.
And then they're featured in a little vignette.
Yes.
So it's a really cute. I really enjoy the vignettes of the other couples talking about how they met. It's cute. But yeah, it is a very cute movie and classic. But like, I don't really care for Harry. So
Harry gets better. Bless you. He gets better after the first parts. Like, okay, I mean, this is bad to say, but I will say after his divorce, after his wife leaves him for another man, I think he starts being a little more introspective and slightly less annoying than he was before. To me, like, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I also find it fascinating, and maybe I wasn't there, right? But like in the 80s, was like Billy Crystal like considered like a swab? You know what I mean? Like
was he hot? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like rom-coms nowadays, if the guy's not like, oh my God, like fog up your glasses hot, they don't really put him on there. But this is like real regular schmegular dude from.
I think I miss that. Like I think I miss a regular schmegular because like, hello, Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks.
First of all, Tom Hanks is a fox.
No. Tom Hanks is a fox. Joe Fox, even.
Exactly.
Fox.
Fox.
But he's not like Brad Pitt. Like, he's Tom Hanks. That reminds me, actually, I don't think they haven't really put Brad Pitt in rom-coms, huh?
No, I don't think he's wanted to be in a rom-com.
Probably not. Whatever. He's trash.
He is trash. But one of my favorite...
Friends?
Yes, it's that Thanksgiving episode that he was on.
Yes.
That was to me his best
great
acting.
That was a great episode.
He was phenomenal in that. But yeah, I don't think he, because a lot of these people, what's his name? Like Matthew McConaughey. Remember he was doing like straight rom-coms for a long time. And then he had to make the decision not to do them anymore so he wouldn't be typecast. And then it took him a while to get a serious script. So I think that's what Brad Pitt does. I think the most Brad Pitt did was fucking Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where he left Jennifer Aniston.
Oh. 20-year-old tea.
20.
But
that shit is rancid.
Yeah. Gross. Yeah, I don't know if Billy Crystal was hot, but I do think that it was rom-coms back then were, I mean, it's always been more likely to have a regular looking guy than a regular looking girl, because Meg Ryan has always been adorable.
Yeah.
Fun fact that I didn't know. So you know the scenes of them talking on the phone and like watching a movie together. Apparently, Nora Ephron wrote that because she was inspired by the director Rob Reiner, his actual friendship with Billy Crystal. Like they used to do that.
What?
Yeah. So it wasn't really romantic in origin. Like it literally was two bros on the phone together watching the same thing. Yeah. Or maybe it was romantic. I don't know.
Okay, well then this is a perfect segue to talk about Offset visiting Kai for the
Wait,
weekend.
is this a perfect segue?
It is, because that is such a, we don't get too many bro conversations, but watching Offset and Kai's bro a sleepover was so wholesome and so adorable, and all the friends. Did you watch the whole? I sent it to you.
Yeah, you sent it. I watched it.
I feel like you're not having a reaction like I did. I thought it was so adorable.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. It also, I wasn't expecting to go from When Harry Met Sally to Offset. Also, real talk, I don't know who Kai is.
Oh, I don't know who Kai is either. I don't.
Wow.
I don't know who that person is.
Hey, Jenny.
I don't. Is he
old.
a gamer? I don't know. Is he a football player? I don't know. I have no idea. Who is Kai?
I don't know. You're the one who sent it to me.
I just thought it was cute. Kai.
Oh, he's a streamer and YouTuber.
He is a streamer. Okay.
Wow, we are so old. He was born after 9/11.
He's a youth?
Out. He was born in December of 2001.
Weird.
Why are you surprised by that?
I don't know. Just wasn't expecting that. I also, I'm 24, so I just think it's weird when I hear people were born.
I'm a baby
in 2021 and they're 2001 and they're like the same age as me. It's weird.
I know, it's strange. But speaking of Offset, I guess we're done with When Harry Met Sally. Yes. I will just say the VMAs were recently, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
I didn't either, but I watched Cardi and Megan performing the bongo song, which I think is cute. Bongo. They did a great job. Like, it was a great performance. And at the end of the video I watched, they panned to Offset in the crowd, and he is like living, like the amount of joy that he's expressing for Cardi in this moment. He looks like it's almost like it's his kid up there. Like, he's so proud of her, and I don't really care about Offset, like, truly. I know he's fucked around on Cardi, but she loves him, so I'm like, whatever, that's your man, do whatever you want. But in that moment, I was like, oh, he does love her.
And the thing is, yes, he has his own shit going on, but the way that he does interact with Cardi and his kids, it's actually real sweet. And his friends apparently is real cute.
It's cute. So we don't have anything else to say about the movie. I love this movie. I think it's great. How do you feel about it? I feel like we didn't really get into that.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't really care for Harry, but to me, because I don't like Harry, I can't like everything about the movie because I don't like Harry. But I do enjoy Meg. I do enjoy I think I'm salty because I've had situations that do not, like, oh, we're friends, but let's do all this couple shit together. It's weird. So I feel some type of way.
Coming at it with your own baggage. I see.
Oh my God. Well, my base Barbie baggage. You're right.
And your baggage. All of this to say that it's a cute movie. I like it a lot, and I think that it is a great rom-com, and I think it's less problematic than Nora Ephron's other famous Meg Ryan rom-coms, Sleepless in Seattle and fucking You've Got Mail, where in Sleepless in Seattle, Meg Ryan is a psychopath. And in You've Got Mail, Tom Hanks is a sociopath. Like, he's insane. They're terrible.
Right.
So in this movie, I felt at least that they deserve to be together. Whereas in the other movies, I was like, I don't know about that. So whatever.
Are we wait, is there a movie that is the like 20-year reunion of Meg Meg Ryan? Oh wait, it is You Got Mail is the 20-year
It was
reunion
it
of
was
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle,
Okay.
and also I think it was 10 years. I don't think it was 20 years.
Oh, it was only 10 years.
I don't because Sleepless in Seattle came out in the '90s, and You've Got Mail was the 2000s,
Oh, maybe it was like 15
right?
years.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean, whatever.
it's 1993, and
When was You've Got Mail?
you got
Like 99 or 2000?
98.
98. Damn. So it was like
It was
5
6
years.
years.
It was not.
What? What would they make such a big deal about it?
Because, as you mentioned, 5 years was a big deal. You didn't have social media. You
You're
weren't
right,
able
you're
to
right, you're
keep
right,
up
you're
with
right.
your favorite stars.
Not me making a point 5 minutes later. What did you find on Al Gore's internet?
I found some Am I the Assholes that I haven't read. Also, I feel like, speaking of things that we pronounce weird, I feel like you say Al Gore weird.
How are you supposed to say it?
Wait, just say his name.
Al Gore.
Okay, now
What
say this.
What did you find on Al Gore's internet?
Huh, you said it different this time. When I send you the recording, you'll hear it back. I feel like sometimes you say, "What did you find on Al Gore's internet?" And I think it's because you're running together on and out. So you say on Al Gore's internet.
Is this why I never won these speech competitions? Because I don't know how to
You
say
won a lot
words
of
right.
speech competitions. What are you saying? Did you not win a bunch of speech competitions?
Not a bunch.
How many did you win?
No, I won an evaluation speech contest, which is a completely different kind of category than just regular speech.
So you won a speech contest.
Yes.
I've never won a speech contest.
But I say
Whatever.
words wrong.
Shut up.
What did
Okay.
you find on Al Gore's internet?
Stop it. Stop it. There's so many, like, am I the asshole for not helping someone with their children? That sort of thing.
You are.
Okay. Am I the asshole for rescinding my offer to help with my niece's wedding? I have always been good with money, and I'm careful with it. I also inherited a good chunk, to be fair. I was able to retire last year fairly early, as these things go. I am not married and have no children. My sister-in-law asked me to help with her daughter's wedding. This is my brother's stepdaughter. There is no blood relationship. I suppose she is not really my niece, but they call me her uncle. That's harsh. That's real harsh. I initially told them I would help. I was thinking maybe $1,000 or so. I was going to give them the same amount as a wedding gift, but they did not know that. They started booking things and asked if I could give them $15,000. Yes, I could. I just don't want to. I would give $1,000. My sister-in-law started pressuring me for more. I said no. $1,000 was a nice contribution for a step-uncle, for lack of a better term. She then got angry and called me names, etc. This is where I might be an asshole. I told her that the offer of any money is rescinded. I would not give a cent, not attend the wedding, and not give a gift. She called me an asshole and all sorts of other things. My brother called me and apologized for his wife and asked if I would consider $5,000. I told him that I loved him but did not like his wife and that my decision to give nothing stands. He then joined the asshole chorus. Am I the asshole for rescinding my offer to give $1,000?
No.
What?
I don't understand this. You know, this always goes back to the same thing we always say. If you don't have any money, stop trying to have a wedding.
Oh.
It's just, why is it his responsibility to give 15,000? He said 1,000. You want 15, and now you're freaking. Well, just give her 5,000. That's insane. No.
Yeah, I don't. So I feel like the person who wrote this letter, the step uncle, I feel like he sucks, probably, just like in general. The specific, like, this isn't really my niece, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, that's kind of annoying. You sound like you're terrible, but also he is not compelled to give money to something that is not a life or death thing.
Right.
Like, if they were like, hey, my brother's stepdaughter needs $15,000 for this life-saving surgery, and without it, she will die. Okay, if you have it, you're probably an asshole for not giving it, but this is just a wedding. Right. And if you can't afford it, you're not entitled to have that wedding.
Absolutely.
It's how not I see in it. The Constitution. Like, that's actually not a requirement. You can have a cheaper wedding. Now, I think that there should have been better communication when the sister-in-law asked, hey, can you help with the wedding? I think this guy should have been like, what do you mean by help? Because asking for help with a wedding and then thinking it's only going to be $1,000 is but then assuming it's going to be $15,000, like, that's very entitled. And
I don't know. I think that's super weird, and I would never do that.
It's just so entitled.
It's super entitled, and it's giving broke.
At the age that I am now, I don't even think I would feel comfortable asking my own parents, who have been saving money for this my whole life, as they like to remind me. I'm like, can you just give it to me for a house? Like, I wouldn't even want to ask for that now, because I'll just plan a wedding that I can pay for myself. Like, what are you talking about?
I think that's outrageous to have any $15,000 for someone else's wedding that's not going to contribute to like a house is outrageous. Like,
yeah, that's so much money for
and it's gift. So funny because I used to be like, oh my God, weddings are going to be super expensive. I'm going to have like a $60,000 wedding. Turns out I would never do that.
I was like, you are?
Never.
Did you win the lottery?
Did I get a man? Because that also hasn't happened either. But
that's neither here nor there.
But I'm just like thinking about weddings now as a consumer, as somebody who thinks about this. I would never spend that much on one day.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Especially when you could throw a whole wedding for $5,000.
I mean, can you though? It won't be very good. Weddings are unfortunately very expensive.
Yeah, they are. I think it'd be a really good wedding, but you also have to figure out how many people you want at this wedding. Not everybody deserves to be invited. And certainly not everybody is going to come.
The truth is, no one's going to remember your flowers or your fucking ice sculpture of a swan. Like, stop spending your money on stupid shit. Spend your money on food. Spend your money on alcohol for sure. And honestly, that's pretty much. And like, you could, if you want to get a DJ, but honestly, you could just put on Apple Music.
Absolutely.
And keep it going.
Keep it moving.
All right, let me find another one real quick. Some of these are so long. I'm like, do you not understand that I have to read these out loud on my podcast?
I'm surprised they haven't caught on to it, because a lot of podcasts do this now.
Well, this one has a lot of comments, so let's see. Probably are the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to not bring his daughters home, or I'll leave with my kids every time they're over?
Oh.
This feels like you need a divorce already. I don't know.
Right. Unless she's like the daughter that was like really mean to their deaf sister or stepsister.
Oh my God. That was so mean.
You still need a divorce, but
you definitely need a divorce. Okay, so my husband has two 19 and 16-year-old daughters from his previous relationship. He only sees them once or twice a week on his days off. It's because of his work schedule that he can't see them often. When they come over, they usually stay for a short time, eat dinner or lunch, and talk with their dad. Sometimes they go out for a few hours. The problem is that they have no respect for me, my kids, and the 16-year-old constantly steals from our home. I don't mind if they just didn't want a relationship with me, but they constantly disrespect me and insult me when I enter the room. They have insulted me for not working. I have a job, but just recently had a baby, and make jokes about how I'm using their dad for money. I make more money than he does. I have two sons from a previous relationship, 7 and 9-year-old boys, which they insult because they think my sons are too dumb to understand what they're saying. Yet they understand clearly and are hurt by it. I've talked to my husband about this, and he says it's all just jokes and that he acted like that to his siblings. I have talked to them about it, and they told their mom, who argued with my husband about it. The 16-year-old also steals. She'll say she's going to the bathroom and then enter the bedroom and take some cash. I have caught her doing this multiple times. My husband will make her give it back and then give her money from his own wallet. When I try to talk to her about it, she tells her mom, who then again argues with my husband. We have gotten locks for our rooms, but she has just stolen other stuff instead. My kids avoid going to the kitchen or living room when the girls are over, and I'm tired of being worried that something is missing. I told my husband that he could spend time with the girls outside the house, and if he brought them over, I'd just take the kids and leave until they're gone. My husband called me childish, and my mom said it's unfair to make him do that for me. Am I the asshole?
No, I mean, I wouldn't want them in the house if they're going to steal stuff. And you can still get that personal time. They don't have to come every week. You getting your shit stolen every week? That's outrageous. Outrageous.
Yeah, definitely needs a divorce though, because it sounds like you guys are married and you now have a child together, but you are still viewing this is like the anti Brady Bunch. Like you're still viewing them as like these are my kids and these are his kids. And like I'm not saying you need to jump in and be like, you know, stepmom extraordinaire, but your husband should be like it should be a partnership and trying to figure out why is your 16-year-old always stealing from you? What's going on with her? Why is she like this? Like yeah, it sucks that they're bullies, but you guys should be trying to like bring them together as opposed to being like, well, fine, they just can't come over. Like that feels like if if two of your husband's kids who should be a big part of his life and it sounds like they are, you're saying that they can't come over to his house, the place where he lives, that kind of means that I feel like you shouldn't be together because like that's a big part of his life. I don't know. Why do people get married? What is the point of this?
I don't
Do
get
y'all
it.
even like each other? Do you even talk to each
No,
other before you get married?
I don't think they do. But I also think that people just need to stop peopling. It's just a lot.
People need to
Y'all over
stop
here having,
peopling?
yeah, too many kids, too many
Oh, well,
emotions.
that's also true. But anyway, that is all Gore's internet.
Al
um,
Gore, Al Gore, Al Gore,
that's
Al
correct.
Gore.
So, my dear, what are you looking forward to and or what has brought you joy?
Well, I'm looking forward to going to Carol G tonight. So here's the big story.
Okay.
Last week there was a secret auction and they had these 4 tickets available. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try to get them. Nobody was looking at the secret auction. Nobody was looking at it. And I told the guy who was overseeing the auction, I said, don't talk about it because nobody's seen it and I have a chance to win. Starts talking about it immediately. It's as almost I said to everybody, hey, everybody, go bid against me. So what did these people do? They bid against me 4 times. I couldn't beat it. Couldn't do it. Then yesterday, I had somebody post on their Insta, hey, getting rid of 1 ticket. Let me know if you want more details. So I responded, said I need details, but my phone was dying. So I was like, I'm really interested. Let me know what the details are. So I plugged in my phone and I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm good. I'll send you the money right now. And they said, I have to confirm with my cousin.
Oh.
Then they sold it to their cousin. So at this point in time, I wasn't going to go. But the Lord be looking out for you, girl. And I got a message today that my former boss had 2 tickets, and I was like, I literally looked at the phone. I was like, did they get hacked? Because why would they be interested in Carol G? I had no idea. Apparently, they love reggaeton. They are so into it, and they aren't going because they're sick, and they were trying to get rid of the tickets. So I'm going. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And what brought me joy this past weekend was the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, and I had 4 events back to back, and it was wonderful. We were able to raise a lot of money for the organizations I was supporting, and I did a high tea. And that has nothing to do with Hispanic Heritage Month, but I am Latina, so it works out. And then I went to a festival, so it was really good. So everything brought me
busy.
joy.
You're so busy.
I've been busy, but it was cool. So yeah, what about you?
What brought me joy? I went to a friend's birthday thing on Saturday and got to see my friends, but more specifically got to see their children who are just very funny and adorable, and just
Oh,
learning so much and repeating so many things. It's just wild to see little humans,
little
children, some people would
humans.
call them,
Yes.
learn and grow and just like become whoever they're supposed to be. That's fun.
So cute.
We had fun doing that. Let's see, what am I looking forward to? This weekend I'm going to a like pottery class, I think.
Ooh.
I've never done any sort of like pottery at all, so I probably will not be very good at it. But yeah, I'm part of this organization, and a few of us are going. Mostly we're writers who are on strike, so it's a little self-care situation, and
Mm.
we're gonna do some pottery. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I'm mostly unaware of where I am in space and time. I always have to look at what day it is, what year it is, even. So that's
Mm.
where I'm at. But yeah,
A little bit of joy here and there. It's always good.
here and there, here and there.
Yay.
I don't know if I could name a Carol G song. I think I've heard her in other songs. Like, what's her song? What's the
There's so
song?
many. One good song is Mañana será bonito. Provincia. That's her
Mm,
song.
mm, mm, mm.
TK TQM with Shakira. Um,
Okay.
the newest one she has is Mi novio tuvo razón. Mi ex tenía razón. Mi ex tenía
Okay.
razón. It
I
was an
do
homage
not
to.
recognize any of these songs. I think I've just heard her in other people's songs, but I haven't heard any of her own stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, for a long time, I was confused between Carol G and Becky G.
Oh yeah, yep.
So,
That's actually true. Funnily enough,
okay.
Becky G is also performing tonight in Atlanta.
What?
It's
At a
actually
different
true.
show?
At a
At a different
different
show?
show.
Oh my god.
I don't even know where she's performing. It doesn't matter because I'm going to Carol G. But I really enjoy Carol G. She's real
Okay.
sweet.
Well, I hope you have fun, and maybe
Thank
I
you.
will listen to her
Yeah,
and
I think you like it once you
enjoy
get
it.
into it. Their album is just it flows. You're someone who likes a good flowy album, and it
I
kind of
do.
flows with each other. And so,
Okay, I'm gonna listen to her because I probably will like her. I get in these like ruts where, not ruts, but I'll just listen to things that I know already. Like for the past year and a half, I mostly have just been listening to Beyonce
oh
and
yeah,
Hall and
Beyonce.
Oates. But
Oh,
I will say, yes, Hall and Oates,
so
amazing.
different.
We've talked about it. So good, so good.
Mhm.
Y'all, if you have not listened to Hall and Oates, get on Apple Music, go to the Hall and Oates Essentials playlist and listen to it, and you will be like, they're all bangers, all of them,
Mhm.
all of them. So what I did do last week and have been doing, which is crazy for me if you know anything about me, because
If you know me,
I, if you know
it's
me,
wild.
I just started listening to the new Olivia Rodrigo album. Now,
Oh.
I didn't listen to the first Olivia Rodrigo album. I only listened to the songs that were, popular, the big singles or whatever. But something was like, you know what? Everyone's talking about it. Let me just go ahead and listen to it. And I love it. Like, I love her.
Well, I mean, she's been on my
She had.
radar, but not for good things.
Oh, wait. What's she
Apparently,
been on
she's
your
been
radar for?
is
What?
it her that like she copies a lot of stuff?
Well, no, she is inspired by like her song "Good for You" was very similar to a Paramore song, and
Mm.
I don't remember if it was similar on purpose or if they had to like sue her or whatever. I don't know. That doesn't have anything to do with me. The point is, her songs are great. They're very catchy. She's very funny in her music, and it's very like, early 2000s pop punk, Avril Lavigne, Paramore sort of thing with a like Gen Z or like 2023 twist. And it's just catchy. She's catchy. That Olivia Rodrigo.
All right.
She's
Well,
good. She's good. I
enjoy
I feel
them.
like the oldest person in the world being like, "Hey, have you guys heard of this Olivia Rodrigo? She's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Uh,
She's pretty good. I think she's got
she's.
something."
Let's stop because I have things to do
Okay.
as well
Yeah.
before I have to go.
Yes, yes, yes. Have fun tonight and can't
Mm.
wait to hear about it.
Thanks. You know, it's
Okay.
so funny because I keep seeing this, but you know, like kids do this.
Yes.
And I don't know how they got here.
Jenny's making a heart with her fingers, by the way. The Gen Z way or the children way. I don't know. Yeah, that's the old person. Boo, millennial, gross, ew, old.
Tomato. I'm so sorry.
Thanks for listening to Get Funny.
We hope you laughed.
But if you didn't,
we did.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye. We killed it.
Crushed it.